At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, people, thank you. I'm so excited today because I have very special guests with us today. I'll tell you guys when we're on. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much, everybody. We're actually on Facebook now. So just a little introduction again. I am so happy today that I have some very special guests. So if you want, you can actually go and share because we are on right now. With these few seconds that we went, we have 4 people already watching. Okay, so that shows you how much people really wanted to watch this. So we have, I'll start with my left side. We have Lynette. So Lynette, just introduce yourself and tell us, just introduction. Don't go deep, because I know when I give you the microphone, that's okay. So just introduce yourself, please.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I'm Lynette Toyo, a community health volunteer from Kibera, a feminist from Feminists for Peace, Rights and Justice Center in Kibera slums in Kisumu Ndogo. I was born and raised in Kibera, and I champion just to see a free gender-based society. Especially, I work with women and young girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Lynette.
And I'm also a GBV survivor, just to add on that.
Okay, well done. Thank you. That's why you're here today with us. So thank you very much, Lynette, for joining us all the way from Kibera in Kenya, Nairobi.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, and then we have, I think I'll go to the only man at the end, because this is the only man today representing the men's voice. So thank you, Benjamin, for coming, but I'll introduce you later. Okay, now we're going to Helen. Helen, please, if you can introduce yourself.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Nice to see all of you. My name is Helen Atim, and I'm a founder of Women Make Change charity here in the UK. So we promote and we protect ladies, let's say young girls and women affected by domestic violence. And also I'm a filmmaker because that's the only way I can tell my story, like to a wider audience. So yeah. Okay. And I'm a mother too. I always say that.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Helen. She's called Billionaire Queen because she's actually a queen. So thank you very much, Helen. And Helen is in the UK. That's where she resides, in the UK. So thank you very much, Helen. Okay, so I'll go to my mentor. This lady is my mentor. Okay, so I sort of respect. So I'll go to Dr. Pam, please. You're muted, Dr. Pam. You're muted. You're muted.
I'm muted. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Lydia. I'm so excited until I forgot to unmute, but thank you for holding me high. Appreciate you. I hold you high too. I always say I have a friend in the UK, but thank you so much. My name is Dr. Pamela Obare Mugaka. I live in the USA. I live in Michigan, USA, but I do most of my activities in Dallas. I am the founder of Diaspora Entertainment and Recognition Awards, which is DEAR Awards. We do it every year in Dallas. In September, we didn't do it this year because of the COVID. I'm also the champion for Kenyan Queens, Kisii Queens here in Diaspora, where we empower and support women. And we, support women in different capacities. We also have a small group for DV, domestic violence, where we support women who have been abused, and we get shelters and support for them so that they can move on with their life. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for all of you who are there. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pam. And then we also have our guests here today. She's just a guest, so she's just here to listen and what you'll be saying. So Lady D, can you just introduce yourself, please, Lady D?
Hi, everybody. How are you all? Hope you're all well. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to mute my TV. Oh, yes, sorry about that. Apologies, everybody. Yes, my name is Khadija. Well, my actual name is Khadija. I go by Lady D, the Great, because of what my name actually means. That's the reasons why I go by that. So Kubra means great, and Khadija means lady. So that's why I stand for that.
Okay.
Yes, so basically, I do network marketing, and I'm a marketer that helps and supports people to get them into become entrepreneurs. I give them training and support and basically things like that.
Thank you very much, Khadija.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well.
All right, now we're going to the only man in the house. He said man married to 5 wives. All right, so we're going to welcome Benjamin. Benjamin, please introduce yourself.
Hello, ladies. Good evening or good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. My name is Benjamin Bogonko. I am from Kenya. I live in Japan. I am a teacher. I teach English to the Japanese people from wide ranges, from as young as 2-year-olds to as old as my oldest student right now is 76 years old. And they're all studying English for specific purposes. That's my daily job. And I am a champion of self-esteem, self-confidence for both the men and the women. I run many Facebook shows and YouTube shows that champions the importance of loving yourself and walking or running away from domestic violence that we're going to talk about today. So I use my platform together with my voice and my profession as a teacher, listening to so many stories from so many students who share, sometimes they share their intimate and deep stories. I thought that just listening to their stories in class and trying to offer my own advice or opinions to them, the classroom setting was not enough. And that's why I began doing the Facebook Live videos to reach as many people as I can by sharing or resharing those stories and allowing them to come up and speak about some of these things like domestic violence. That's the other thing that I do. I have a passion for that. And I'm glad to be here today. Thank you so much for inviting me in this discussion.
Thank you so much for accepting the invitation between women. So thank you. And and my name is Lydia Tetolet, by the way, and yeah, I'm the host today. So I'll just be shooting questions. And if you feel like you want to pass, just pass. You don't have to answer everything, okay? And the reason why I actually invited Benjamin as well is because of the topics, because personally, I think, and I want to hear your views as well, a lot of domestic violence as well, they all start from self-esteem and self-confidence. If you don't have that, that's why we want self-praise. We want to be praised by someone else. So if your partner is praising you because they praise you with this hand and they hit you with this hand, and that's why I think a lot of us stay, because we think, oh, at least he hit me here, but he praised me with this other hand. Low self-esteem, not loving yourself, not knowing how much you're worth. And that is why a lot of us sit in silence and suffer. So I'm just going to ask Lynette first to just tell us her story.
Okay.
I know you're a mother, Lynette.
Yes. Okay, I'm a mother of 2. And I got married when I was 22 years old. I was so naive, so in love, and I thought I was ready for marriage. I was just ready to move in. I never thought it could come to something else.
So after some months, he didn't show me at the first sight that he was so violent. And after some months, he started beating me up. And I couldn't share this with my parents because I knew maybe it would change. So I kept on keeping quiet and until my neighbors had to ask me, wewe msichana, in Kiswahili, wewe msichana, you girl, you don't have your parents to go back to, you'll be killed here. And I never saw that coming until I gave birth to my firstborn, and the violence was just too much, hitting me, despite coming out of the cesarean barely a month, like 2 months. So I just persevered, and I lost my second-born due to violence also, of which I never told anyone because I was so in love. I thought he would change. And after a while, after giving birth to my third-born also, after I lost my second pregnancy, I knew I was in danger the moment he hit me when I was only a week old from the cesarean. You know, I never gave birth normally, so I used to go to cesarean, and I saw danger when I gave birth to my thirdborn, and just a week, he hit me so hard. And even when I was pregnant, he was still hitting me. After giving birth, he was still hitting me. So I thought everything would change. You know, even if you're educated, education and empowerment are two different things. So I was not empowered at that time. I thought of how I will start it all over again. You know, he used to abuse me, tell me that I won't go anywhere with the scars that I'm having. Even if I go, I won't get any. He thought that when I got out, maybe I was going to get married. And he was like, even if you get out, you won't find a man to love you. Even if you get out, you won't survive because your salary is so little. And I tried talking to him just to tell him that we could talk and sort out issues. Like if I was wrong, at least he could talk to me and tell me where my mistake was. But that wasn't coming out clearly. And it even affected my job. I was working as a community health worker in an organization. And today I'm so thankful. It helped me come out strong. Like I was affected mentally. At some point, I even thought of committing suicide. Suicidal thoughts came in my mind. And I had to share this with my supervisor because she saw the scars that I had. And at that time I was working as a receptionist. I couldn't hide because even if the sun was shining, I used to put on my scarf. And they were like, why are you putting on your scarf? And I had to share this because it was affecting me. Like I used to cry every now and then. So I couldn't hide it, but they supported me. They supported me in terms of psychological support. They gave me a therapist who helped me. Yeah, but it was so hard.
Yeah.
So like, I thought that I was nothing. I was never gonna make it. You know, when you're in that relationship and you don't know, you're not used to paying rent, you're thinking of what the community will say, and you're thinking of how you'll survive with your kids. That's what keeps so many people in toxic relationships and toxic marriages. And I saw that he was serious and he was gonna kill me the moment he told me that if I was not going to get out, he was going to kill me and put me, you know, we stay near railway line. So he was like, I'm not your relative. If you don't get out, nitakukata ndogo ndogo, I'll chop you into pieces. and put you at the railway, or you will be found at the mortuary. So that's when I saw this, and the neighbors were there, and I was like, you know, he only started the war when he was drunk. He never started the war when he was sober, like coming and knocking at the gate maybe once, and I didn't hear that. You just from the ward, from Caesarean. So he will be like, what are you doing all that time? And I tell him, I was sleeping because the baby I was still sleeping, and he couldn't understand me. He'll just start beating me up. And you know, I'm asthmatic, and it will reach a time when he'll come home at night, find me in my warm clothes. And it was like, if you can't sleep like a woman, just get out of my bed and sleep down. So he would push me to the floor. And when I get to the sitting room, I will take a blanket. And that's the moment when I was pregnant. I will take my blanket and sleep in the sitting room. And do you know what he'll do? He'll take some cold water, come pour where I was sleeping, not knowing what I was feeling. Okay. Yeah.
It is well. It is well, Lynette. Well, it is well. And I know you said you are naive and you're thinking that you're going to change him. And I think that's the mistake that we make. Dr. Pam, do you think you can change a man? Muted.
And yeah, definitely you will not change a man. And first of all, Lynette, thank you for sharing your story. We really appreciate, and I know so many women are going to listen to your story. So many women who are in your shoe, they will understand today that it's not easy to change any human being, not a man. You cannot change a human being. They have to make a conscious decision to change themselves and ask God to change them. So yes, Lydia, you cannot change anybody. And I think that this is the beginning of our discussion on how we can work to change the women or even men who are abused, because men are abused too, to change their mindset, to know that they cannot change somebody.
Thank you. Benjamin, I'll come to you now. What do you think are the signs? What is the red lights? What are the red flags that a woman or a man, because even men are abused, that we can see and you know what, this is the time to get out, to exit? What are the signs? What do you think are the red flags?
All right, thank you so much can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Lydia, for that question. Yeah, listening to Lynette's story is very heartbreaking, and it's like a movie. You can, if you are keen enough to listen how she's describing, and if you watch the movie, then it would make much more sense. I wish we had such movies or drama series where both men and women watch it physically, because we don't know, we don't see only through these platforms. You can hear and try to visualize what some of these people have gone through. But going to your questions, some of the signs, I believe it begins as jokes. The jokes like, you know, I can beat you. It just starts like funny statements, and the way Lynette was describing her story, you might think that somebody's just saying as a joke. For me, I believe it begins as jokes, and then it moves step by step from the jokes to the actualization. It will begin with one slap or one kick, and then of course with an apology. I'm sorry, I was acting out of anger. I didn't intend to beat you up. I think I was too much drunk, because there are many reasons why this person is acting like this. Or maybe you made me to be so angry, or the person has anger issues. So after the first slap, and then the next is a kick, more slaps, more kicks, more beating. And then it moves to a stage where the person now, the victim, and the person who is doing these abuses tries to keep controlling the person he is abusing or she is abusing. So because most abusers want to control you, they want to manipulate and control you in terms of what you say, what you do, where you go, who to talk to. And every time they have this control, they are very happy. An abuser, so long as he's controlling you, it doesn't matter whether he's beating you, whether you are bleeding, whether you are going through a lot of pain. The key goal here is to maintain the control and power over you. So once you realize that this person is controlling you completely from the people who are supposed to be close to you, somebody isolating you from your family members, isolating you from your own parents, brothers and sisters, that is now you're almost there where you can tell that your life is meaningless. Once a woman or a victim reaches a stage where you feel hopeless, you're just walking. I say, like, you are dead, you're already dead, but you're just walking. You are affording to smile. You are even, some of the ladies, I think they post on Facebook that they are happily married. They are posting those pictures just because Facebook and social media is all about a fake life, like hiding. And when you get those likes and those comments, even if you've posted a picture that you are happily married or you are in a very nice marriage and the people are giving you the likes and the comments, but when you go back and you are alone in a bathroom or in your car or anywhere where you begin to just cry, you can't remember the last time you were happy, the last time that this man or this person made you happy. If you can't remember all these things, when you sit down, you look at the calendar, I don't know when this person really made me happy. I think I forgot the time the person made me happy. So combining all these signs, when you reach that stage where you feel honestly your life is at risk, the person has threatened to kill you, the person has attempted to kill you, maybe has stabbed you with a knife or kicked you really hard, you have even lost consciousness, you are almost dying. That should be the final stroke for you to say enough is enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
But it doesn't have to go. Let me not mislead any person watching and say, for me, he just kicked me last week and we just began the relationship. No. Domestic abuse it's a cycle. An abuser repeats over and over again. There is no abuser who abuses you today and stops until next year. This is something that happens, a cycle. It keeps on happening. So you don't have to sit until you see that your life is in danger, because an abuser can tell you, I will one day kill you and kill you that night. That could be the night that is actually going to kill you. So it doesn't have to go up to the final stage where your life and your children are at risk. You should begin by seeing that the first sign, somebody's just jokingly demeaning you and kicking you, and then be careful before it becomes worse. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the people who are listening. Like we heard from Dr. Pam, you cannot change anybody. You cannot change anybody. You cannot sit down and say, my husband will change, my wife will change. Like Lynette says as well, that, he only does it when he's drunk. When he's not drunk, he doesn't do it. So it's the alcohol. It's not the alcohol. The alcohol just gives him more boost and pretend that, I didn't know what I was doing. So they'll use the alcohol as an excuse, but it's not alcohol. They know exactly what they're doing. And also we've heard from Benjamin, the red flags starts with a joke. And then, one day I'll beat you. And then they want to see your reaction. If you didn't react to that, they're like, okay, with a little slap here, a little slap there, a kick. Those are the red flags. If you truly love yourself, you know what to do. Get out. Because just like we heard, I will kill you one day. We saw a video. I'm sure everybody saw this video just last week when a man said, if I don't kill your sister, then I'm fake. And the next day, he went and killed the woman, bullets 9 times or 7 times on her back. So these things, people don't just say this, and we all know how the power of the tongue. They say something, trust me, they will do it. So please, I don't even know what keeps us there. So anyway, we're going to hear it from Helen. Helen too is going to tell us her story of what she went through. And also, Helen, as you tell us your story, tell us as well why you thought you can't leave.
Okay. It's my turn to tell my story. I'm just gonna be brief, not a lot, not a lot. I got married in Uganda, 2003. I was a young girl, and it was arranged marriage between my family and my ex-husband. Let me say that family. So he lived in the UK and I was living in Uganda. So he decided to bring me over to the UK, which was a good thing. Because, in Africa, like parents, they get so excited when their kids are going abroad. 1 minute.
Okay, she has a little child, so probably the child is totally
I
disturbed.
can chime in, Lydia.
Chip in,
As
yeah.
Let me chime in as she goes on. Is she ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm back now. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. So I came to join my husband 2004 in the UK. So that same night, I remember on the 23rd October 2004, when we got to the airport. So he said to me, "Welcome to London, my wife." Then I said, "Oh, thank you so much." I was excited as well. Then when we got to his house, then he told me, "I have rules in my house. So now let's sit down, let me go through it." And I'm like, okay. So he said, rule number 1, you're in a new place, so no opening the door for anyone when I'm not at home or I'm at home. Rule number 2, no wearing any short dresses or whatever. Rule number 3, no doing hair. You are just a young girl, so you grew up in the village, so you should know how to, hold yourself like a young girl, like a little girl. Rule number 5 or whatever, if my brothers, they come here, you should not stay in the living room. You have to go and stay in the bedroom. Rule number 6, if I have visitors, you don't need to cook because you are from the village. You cannot cook the food that we eat in the UK. So I will take over and make the food for my brothers and all that. And no going out or anything. And if you have a phone, let me have the phone because I bought the phone for you when you were in Uganda. So you don't call anybody. If you have numbers you have written anywhere, so you need to give it to me. Then anytime you want to talk to anyone, you need to let me know. So everything was going on and on and on. The list was like endless. So first thing, it took all my book that I've written, all the numbers, my mom, my dad, friends from school, everybody's number was inside there. So that was the first thing it took. And I'm like, okay, my life has started as a housewife. So the following day, he showed me around the house. This is what you do, this is where I live and everything. So when I live in the UK for like 1 week, I start feeling like, oh, did I lose anybody? It's like, I'm not feeling nothing because I can't see outside. I'm inside the house. We live on the 4th floor. I don't know how the community look like. I don't know how the people look like because I can't even see anyone from the window or whatever. So yeah, I lived there for like 1 year, no going out. I was inside the house. So one day I asked him, I said, I've been inside the house for almost 1 year and I feel a little bit lonely. I need to meet your families because you have families here in the UK. You have brothers, you have sisters, you have some relatives as well. I don't have anybody, but it would be nice for me to meet them. He said, yeah, you meet them when I'm ready. Are you telling me what to do? I'm your husband. So if I want to show you to my family here, definitely I will let you know. I said, okay. So that was 2005 already. Then I got pregnant. He told me that, oh, it looks like you came here when you were already pregnant. So I told him like, how? What do you mean by that? I came here October 2004. So around February, that's when I was pregnant, like found out that I'm pregnant because I was very sick. And he said to me, that is too early for me to get pregnant. So that is not his pregnancy. It's not his baby and something like that. So, 1 week after, I keep going on, and he said to me he's gonna remove the baby because it's not his baby. Then we start again. And I said to him, what do you mean you're gonna remove the baby? And he said, yeah, it's not my baby. So one day I was sleeping and I just heard something very serious happen to me. I woke up from the sleep and I was on the floor, continue punching me, kicking me, because he wanted the baby to come out. And I started bleeding as well straight away. And he said to me, okay, that is it. I don't want that baby because it's not mine. You came from Uganda when you're already pregnant. Oh, my sister talked to me on the phone when my sister said, you're a prostitute, you are not this, you are not that, you are not that. And that sister, the sister is talk about, I've never met her. She has never seen me. I've never seen her. Even when we are getting married, she was not there. But I said, oh, my sister said, you're a prostitute, you are this, you are that, that. Okay, no problem. So after 2 weeks, when I've been bleeding, after 2 weeks, one day I couldn't get up anymore from the floor. I was really stuck on the floor. I couldn't get up. The thing was really affecting me. And he said to me, okay, let's go and see my big sister in Elephant and Castle. There's a place called Elephant and Castle here in the UK. And we went to see the sister. That's when I collapsed on the floor from there. And the sister called ambulance when he was there as well. So ambulance came, took me to the hospital, and they found that, yes, I had a miscarriage, and it's a very bad one. So they admit me in the hospital. They have to clean my womb or something like that. For like 1 week, I was in the hospital. And I don't have a GP, I don't have doctor, I don't have anything. I don't know anything, whether you need to have doctors. I don't know nothing. I'm just there. So the question they were asking, the problem is my English was not good. So language barrier was the main problem for me. I can't really speak to anyone as well. So in the hospital, they were speaking their English, and I feel like, what are they saying? I don't understand. I don't know what they're saying. But he was the one answering everything, and the sister was answering, oh, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we left everything. Came back home. 2 months after, I got pregnant again. So he said, okay, that's his baby. I'm sorry about what happened. I will never do this again. I love you. You know, it was the devil. It was my sister, blah, 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 blah. So I started to question him. I want to talk to my family, because it has been long now. I need to talk to my mom. They need to know how I've landed in the UK, how my life is. I don't know anything. I need to talk to my family. He said, oh, don't worry. When you have a baby, I will take you back to Uganda. So you don't need to come back anymore. If you want to talk to your family, it's better you go back. You will not stay here no more. And I said, yes, no problem. I want to go back. Oh, you want to go back? Anytime I said that, problem, big fight, big fight. So it got to the point, everything started getting worse. After he apologized, he says, sorry, everything started getting worse again. Like 2-3 weeks, you go back. Then few minutes, I'm sorry. 2-3 weeks, you know, his brothers, they will come and knock at the door. You will not open the door. Sometimes he open the door. I have to go and stay either in the bedroom or corridor. So everything continues, it continues, it continues. I had my first baby. And when I had my first baby, everything started changing, because that time I need to have the midwife, they need to come home to visit the baby. The health visitors, they need to come. So when they come home, I can speak in English, and then they say they need somebody to translate my language. And they brought a woman from Uganda, and she spoke my language. And that is when everything started. I told the woman everything. This is what is going on. This is what happened. I need to go home. I need help to go back, and blah, blah, blah. She said, don't worry, we will help you. So we will find a way of helping you when your husband is not at home and things like that. So they didn't really take everything quick. Everything didn't happen quick, like really quick, no. So one day I came back from work, I said, oh, my neighbor told me that some people were here. Is it the men you are dating? Because they said it was some women and men. Is it the people they're sleeping with you or something like that? I said, no, they came to see the baby. And they said, no, that's not the case. Let me warn you, when I'm not at home, you do this, I will kill you. I will cut you into pieces. I will throw your body parts one by one in the bin. Nobody will notice, because this is winter, we're in winter. So if I throw one part of your body somewhere, nobody will know, because it's not going to smell, it's not going to do this, it's not going to do that. So be aware of that. No, don't tell anybody anything. My life is my life. I've been in the UK for many years, 20 something years. Nobody knows my life. So you cannot come from the village and start to ruin my name or paint me this and that and that. And I said, okay, I'm sorry. If anything happened, I'm sorry. Every day I'm apologizing. Every day I'm apologizing. I will kneel down, I'll apologize, I'll cry, I'll do this. So I get to the point, I got pregnant again because that lady that was supposed to help me, I think she moved somewhere and she transferred my case to white people, and I can't speak language that time, to some social worker. They are not from Uganda. So nobody to help me again. These people, when they come, they knock at the door. I can't speak to them, they will go back. So when I got pregnant for the second time, everything get worse again. He stopped his work so he can stay at home. So one day I was sleeping and then I woke up again from my sleep. And what did I find on my body? It was hot iron on my, he wanted to burn my face, but I start with my leg, you know. So when I get up, it was really a serious thing. Like, that's when I thought that, okay, this is the end of my life, the end of everything. What can I do? So I became like a dead person, but I'm still alive. Like, I don't care anymore. If you want to pinch me, pinch me. You want to shoot me with knife, you want to cut me, anything you want to do, just do it. So I wake up, I just sit down like a toy. Wake up, sit down, wake up, sit down. So it's a separate where to sleep. I don't sleep inside the house. I sleep in the balcony outside. And it was winter. So me sleeping in the balcony, like I was just, you know, it's like I'm just writing a book on my head. A lot of things start coming on my head. This and that and that, and there are a lot of things. Why will I experience this? As a young girl, I didn't know nothing. My family, I wish they know what is going on. It has been like 3 years. I did not talk to them, and this and that and that and that and that. There was a lot. So yes, I asked him, I said, my husband, I need help. Can we go and see family in Uganda, me and you and the kids? At least let them see the kids we have, the children we have them. We have beautiful children they need to see. And he said, yeah, why not? I'll buy a ticket and we go. And I was praying for that 24/7 and a book ticket for us to go. So now we have to take the kids for immunization, like for them to go and get like a injection when you are traveling. So when I went there, they said, are you traveling? I said, yes. But the lady, she remembered me from somewhere. And she said, I remember you from a playground where the kids were playing. I said, yes. She said, did you get help? I said, no. And he said, oh, you know the lady that was helping you, she moved. And I said, is there anybody that can help me again? And she said, yes, they found somebody again to come and help me. Then she called the person and the person said, can I come and meet you guys there? Because I was alone there. And the person came after like 1 hour. This lady is from my side as well, speak my language. So I pour everything to her again. And when I said everything, she started to act so fast, so quickly, you know, she acted so quick. And I came back in the house because they cannot contact me, no phone, I don't have phone or anything. So when I came back in the house, she knocked at the door again after 2 days, because that's the only way they can reach me. She knocked at the door, but my husband was at home. And he knew that, oh, why is this woman here? And she speak our language, why is she here? Because I couldn't tell the woman anything. So when the woman left, this man beat me to the point I was unconscious. Then he now called police, he called ambulance and everything. So they took me to the hospital. I didn't know nothing. I woke up after 3 days from the hospital. That's St. Thomas Hospital. And when I woke up, police and all that, and the lady, she was there to translate everything. So they translate, tell them what happened, because this man said I should say that I fell from the bathroom when I was in the bath. This happened to me. Normally I feel dizzy. You know, I used to have this problem when I was in Uganda. I should say all those things. But I refused to say it. So I said I didn't fall from the bathroom. Anything that is going to happen to me, let it happen. Is this man beating me? Is this man doing this? I don't have my family here. I don't have anybody here. So I said, okay. They took him, police took him So in this country, what will the police do? They will take you to police station. They will question you. Later, they will ask a woman, do you want to press charges? That is another big thing that I couldn't do. So when they came to ask me from the house, we can help you. The next thing, what you can do for us now is we need to press charges on him so we can maybe put him to prison and blah, blah, blah. Then the following day, his brothers came to me. You see, you're a bad girl. You're a prostitute. Our brother said, now he's going to be behind bars because of you, blah, 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 blah. If you try that, I'll use my hand to kill you. You know, families now, they start to gather. And I'm like, okay. Police came back. I told police, no, he's my husband. He said he's going to change. Let me give him another chance. They said, okay. So now it's between two, you have to choose your kids or your husband, because we have to take the children away. They can't stay in this kind of relationship. So everything continued from there. Social worker was in our life. Our time to go to Uganda was nearer. And then the police, the social worker, the health visitors, that time I already have a doctor. Everybody now came together. They said, you are going to Uganda. We need about 7 numbers that we can reach you when you go, because you are going like next week. So we need numbers. And he said, okay, I told them, no problem. I now talked to him. I said, can you call my dad? Let them know that we are coming. He said, yes. So he called my dad. And my dad, you know, they were so excited. What happened? How many years? What happened? Are you okay? I said, I'm fine. Are you sure? Yes. What happened? How come? Blah, 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 blah. Everybody's talking. Some people are crying. My mom is crying. How can you just go? How can he just take you just like that? No speaking to us and this and that. I said, Mommy, don't worry, I'm fine. I have your grandchildren. Everybody's fine. We are coming to see you guys in 1 week time. So everyone was happy. But I told them, I said, I need numbers. Mom, I need your number. Dad, uncles, brothers, I need you, all of your numbers. And they gave me numbers. Those numbers, I sneak it, I give it to the social worker, things like that. So we went to Uganda, we traveled. So from the airport, I already talked to my dad, because I put the number on my head. I talked to my dad. I told my dad what happened. And I said, when I'm coming, you guys have to be careful, because this man, he already told me he's going to kill me. He promised me, he said, when we land in Uganda, I'm going to be a dead meat, because I already exposed him in many places. I blackmailed him, I did this, I did that. So I told my dad everything. So by the time we get to the airport, my dad came with army, some soldiers and things like that. So he spotted my family first. So when he spotted them, he told me he's going to the toilet, and he did come back. He gave me some money, said, hold it, and he left. So with my family, they took me. We sit in the car, we wait, he didn't come. He called me on the phone and he said to me, you see the phone I bought for you? When you go to your family, look after it, because that phone, I need it for my family. But I'm not going to come to your family. Look after the kids. I give you some money. You have some money in that envelope that I've given you. Look after the kids. Don't tell anybody anything, because everybody have problem in their relationship. I love you. I will change. That is why we are in Uganda, because I need some prayers. I need prayers, and find a good pastor for them to pray for our relationship. That's what they told me. So I went to my family. We talked. The police were calling all the way from London. Social worker was calling. Everybody was calling. And I enjoyed my stay in Uganda. Talked to my family. I didn't want to come back, but the social worker, police, they said to me, I have to come back because of the kids. The kids are British. I can't just go with them like that. And okay, no problem. So they arranged everything. So when we were coming back, the day we were supposed to come back with him, he didn't turn up, he didn't show up. So me and the kids, we had to come back. So when I reached at the airport, that was Heathrow Airport, I remember 2008, that's where the police, social worker, they were waiting for me and the kids. And they took me from there straight to a new place. And that's how my story started again. Like, I have to rewrite everything. So they took me to a refuge where women and everything, they stayed there, brought me counseling, took me where I can learn how to speak, how to communicate in English and all that. Everything started from there. The thing affected me a lot. I won't say that I healed. I will still say that
It's okay. It's okay. We got you. We got you. It's okay. We got you. It's okay.
It's okay, Helen.
It's okay.
It's a
okay.
long thing. It takes time. I tried so many times. I meet other people. I try to work in the community, give back to the community, meet other women, talk to them, counsel them. Many people look up to me now because of the charity I have. I talk to them, but I still find it hard, you know. And many people don't understand. They don't really understand what you go through. So it's a long journey. I've moved on. After our divorce, I've moved on, got a new man. The relationship didn't work out. So it's like the thing affected me a lot because you meet a new person and it's like it doesn't work out. You continue and you don't trust anybody. I don't trust any man. You know, I have a man now as well. But it's so hard because every day you are staying like a meerkat. You know, you keep looking like, is it this person? Does he love me? Does he want to be with me? Like, I feel so, I don't know. It affected me a lot. It affected me a lot. A lot. I do try every day, like for me to be that strong lady, be very strong and strong. But when I recall, when I go back to my past, it's like all those things still come back, you know. But I do smile a lot. Those who know me, Lydia, you know me, I smile a lot. I laugh a lot. That does not mean everything is okay in my life. That relationship affected me, and I think it's gonna affect me forever because it messed up a lot of things. I tried to get back myself. I went to school, go to uni from here, everything. I was still doing everything with the kids, you know, running up and down. I want to get this, I want to get that, that freedom. I feel like I'm free, but at the same time, I feel like, no, I'm still somewhere. Because after that, like the family started their own war. You know, my family and his family, they are fighting. He's like, I'll kill your daughter in this UK, I will do this. Oh, don't worry, men that will meet your daughter now, they will kill her, they will do this, they will abuse her. You know, those things continue and continue and continue. So it's like you are never free. You are never free. It's like a long thing. So, and many people don't like to talk about it, but it's good to talk about it because
Yeah.
whenever I talk about it, like I feel relief, I feel a little bit better. When you meet a new partner as well, sometimes it's good to talk about it. It depends as well on the person. Because some people, when you talk to them about your past, it's like, why is he bringing our past to me? You know, you understand? So those things cannot make you heal quick as well. It mess up a lot of things.
Wow. But
yeah.
you are strong. There's a lot of messages coming up and down. I don't know if Benjamin can see them. And there's so many things that have been said here that I don't even know how to where
So
to
I have
start.
mark on me, Lydia.
Yeah,
I have mark on me. Normally people, I don't really talk about it, but I have a big mark on my leg that even my kids, they just think, oh, mommy has done a tattoo. Like many people don't know. Sometimes I do feel like, that's okay. Sometimes I say, yes, that's the mark of me getting married. You understand?
Was that
So,
from the iron?
Yeah.
Was
you
that?
know.
A lot of people
Yeah, it was from the iron, yeah.
A lot of people are saying you're strong, people are encouraging you, so just stay strong. And yes, like you said, it takes time. I think healing is like an onion, or you made me cry. That was so sad.
I do try not to cry, but it hurts.
So sad.
Yeah, like it hurts.
Healing is like an onion. You know, onion, when you're peeling the onion, you're crying because onion is, you're crying, but you keep peeling it and you keep crying until you finish with the onion. Once you finish with that onion, you'll not cry anymore because the onion is gone. So Helen, you will heal. And Lynette, you will heal. It's a process. It's not something that just happens, boom. It's a process. So,
It
oh
takes time.
my God, I don't know what to say. And I think it's isolation. Isolation. They isolate you from everybody. What your man did, he isolated you from everybody. And also family. Oh my God. Benjamin, do you want to say something about this? Ooh.
Oh, yeah, let's breathe in and breathe out. It's very heartbreaking, and I don't know if my fellow men are watching this. And sometimes,
Nah.
as I said earlier on, when you gave me the chance to speak, some of these stories, if you could sit down and watch this movie, I don't know if you would have the guts to see the beating, and even the image of the flat iron, the way it's so hot. I have experienced it when I'm ironing, and then the flat iron just passes through my thigh because I'm busy on my phone, and that pain is so painful. It's heartbreaking. And listening to what she has just said, billionaire queen. Yes, people will say she's strong. I think she's strong in the sense of sharing the story. That's the
Yeah.
strength. But at the end of the day, as she has confessed, she will never forget all these things.
Yeah.
These are things that people will grow with them for the rest of their lives. And it's very heartbreaking. I mean, I'm at a loss of words. The isolation part, like I said, a manipulator or an abuser will isolate you from the people who matter a lot. I don't know if they do it because they know what they are doing. Because on the other hand, people say abusers don't know that they are abusers. A man will do all these things and say that it's okay. It's okay. I'm doing these things to billionaire queen because this is how I want her to be as my wife. So, but at the end of the day, the pain, the effect it has on a fellow human being, it's irreparable. Self-esteem, as I said, I'm a champion of self-esteem and self-confidence. If a mother, self-confidence has been totally ruined by a person who is supposed to build it, she can never transfer this self-confidence to her own children. So she's growing up with these beautiful kids who are also intimidated, have no self-confidence to express and speak out and say, hey, you can't beat me, you can't slap me, you can't do this to me. And it's so sad that the effect will trickle down to your child, whether it's a boy, a son, or a daughter. A son will say, yes, daddy used to beat my mom, and the mom did nothing. And I perfectly think that is the best way to discipline any woman in my life. And the daughter too could grow up and say, hey, mom stayed there, she survived. And if somebody is abusing me, I will hang in there until the man will stop doing this. So the effect is not just about this person who has been affected. And you can imagine, like these two stories of Helen and the billionaire queen, the effect is not only to the two of them. They have children, they are mothers. What about the children? What is happening to those children? Are they confident enough? Do they understand what is domestic violence? Can they get help? Can they run away? The victim has the effect to the people who are very important. All of us with children, we believe that children are the best gifts that God has given us. And we want these children to grow and have a happy life. If they will never be happy, then they will miss the opportunities that they were born to come to this world. So I want all the viewers to understand that the effect is not just about the story of this lady sharing. The effect goes to so many people, and those children are going to miss the opportunities to be who they wanted to be successful in life. And no parent would like to have that. Even an abusive parent would not want his own children to miss the opportunity to excel in life. But it's very sad. It's very, very sad.
Lynette, do you have anything to say to add on to that?
Anything to say? Okay. I just want to say that it's not worth saying in a violent marriage, be it a man or a woman, because men also go through a lot maybe. And I wish I knew earlier, I wouldn't be having these scars. I wouldn't have gone through all that. I wouldn't have lost my baby, you see. And it's 2 years since we separated. It's quite hard, though I look at my 2 kids and they keep me going. And I wouldn't want any woman to go through what I went through. I've tested it. I know how it feels. I know how it feels. And I know how mentally, physically, and psychologically someone can be tortured. So I wouldn't want anyone to go through what I went through.
Mm,
So
mm,
it reached a point where he would even force me to breastfeed the baby by force. And if I'm a woman and I'm a mother who knows that, you know, there are times when the baby just cries without anything. Maybe it's colic, and you will slap me, beat me up, tell me to breastfeed the baby by force.
Mm.
So you see, if I walked out earlier, I wouldn't even tell someone to walk out, just run.
mm,
Just run.
run,
Yeah.
run,
Run.
Hmm.
Mm.
Run.
run.
Mhm.
Yeah. Pam,
Run.
Dr. Pamela.
Wow, I
Whew.
don't have words. First of all, I am so proud of you, billionaire queen. Thank you for sharing your story. This story, you don't know what it's gonna do to a lot of women who are going to watch this. Thank you. We appreciate you, Lynette. We appreciate you for sharing your story. These are the stories we have to share so that we can encourage other women so that they don't have to go through this or they don't have to end up dying. You're so lucky, you're so fortunate that you were not killed. And we really support you and applaud you for the great work. But also, Lydia, I have to come back to what Lynette discussed about. When we have this DV, domestic violence, they have a circle. They call it, it is like the circle is like a vicious circle where the abuser builds your self-esteem first, tells you you're beautiful, you deserve it, oh, I love you, does this and that. Then after that, they start calling you name, because now they build your esteem, now they're putting you down. And then now they start building it on that. Then they actually abuse you, where they slap you, they do whatever they do with the abuse. And then they apologize. That is the next stage. When they apologize, now you have that honeymoon. They call it an honeymoon stage. The honeymoon is where you are, hey, you are happy. Then from there, you start building up. That is the time they don't talk to you. That is the time they give you the quiet treatment. And then from there, it is building up until the time they beat you and then apologize and then go to the honeymoon. So this is a continuous cycle. Whoever is watching know that that is what happens. And it's sad that it is worse in our African community, back at home, and even here in diaspora. So, Lydia, my biggest thing is that we are here today. We are learning from women who have gone through it. For me, I feel that I appreciate you, Lydia, because this is the way forward. We need to have these discussions more and more so that women can be sensitized to the issues, the abuse that is happening in the community. Women can learn that you can actually survive and live. And also we need to come up with programs here in diaspora and back home that support women who are abused.
Yeah, you're right. And Lynette, you wanted to say something?
Okay, I just wanted to ask this question. Can you stay with someone for 7 years without even him knowing your parents? Because I stayed with him for 7 years and he never knew my parents. So when he was beating me up, he will tell me to pack my things and leave, because it's already 7 years and he don't even know my parents. So that should be a red alert. I don't know if you can stay with someone for 7 years without even knowing your parents, and yet you have kids. I have a 7-year-old kid now and a 3-year-old girl. 7-year-old boy and a 3-year-old girl. So afterwards, I saw that like a a lot, because he will tell me how ugly I was, that he couldn't even go and see my parents. So just a question, can you stay with someone for 7 years without even him knowing your parents, leave alone kulipa mahari, leave alone paying the dowry, just staying with the man for 7 years without him knowing your parents?
I can answer you that, Lynette. One thing I've learned from one of my mentors, Oprah Winfrey, she says, love does not hurt. If it hurts, that is not love. If somebody isolates you from your parents, if somebody takes your phone away, he has to control who has to talk to you, who you have to talk, they don't love you. If somebody has to beat you even one time, they don't love you. Love does not hurt. The man who was married to you, Lynette, did not love you. And another thing that I want to bring forward is that some of these men who abuse women, they themselves lived in an abusive relationship. Their parents, their dad, or somebody was abusing their mother. Some of these men, because I work with this, I work in an urgent care, some of them have mental issues. They either have bipolar, schizophrenia, they either have depression that is uncontrolled. Some of these men, they themselves, or women abuse men too. I don't want to put it only men abuse women.
Yeah.
Women abuse men too. Some of these people have mental issues that they need to dig deep down and get help first before they even start marrying anybody.
There's also so many comments, so I'm just going through them. And there's one lady who said the husband actually stabbed the cousin 42 times in America, and I know in diaspora it's worse. I mean, it's worse everywhere. I can't even say where is better than where. And 42 times, and then he wanted to kill himself. Of course he didn't. They're always cowards. They always pretend they want to kill themselves and they don't. And now the lady is on a wheelchair, okay, but she didn't die, thank God, but she's in a wheelchair. And somebody as well wrote something here which is very interesting, and I think all of us will have to come up with a solution on that. She said, are we actually going to get support resources at the end of this presentation? So what's going to happen? Are we just going to do the presentation and then leave them dry? Or are we going to help them? Are we going to direct them to the right channel of help? So I think that is something we all five of us should think of. How are we going to support them? Because it's not just here. Because right now, a lot of people who are watching this are actually going through a lot of things and they're scared. So we need to, what do you think about that, Dr. Pam? Because I know you wanted to say something.
Yes, I want to say something. I know most of you by now, most of the people are watching me, they know me, they don't know me. Check on me on YouTube channel, Dr. Pam Obare Mogaka. And you can, let me tell you something that I always tell people, Lydia, if you truly need help, you can inbox me, you can DM me, I will act, because I do not want to see any woman die. This one woman who died recently, I mean, we went through horror. Who died here in diaspora? In the last 2 weeks, we've had 3 women who died in diaspora because of DM, domestic violence. I said, enough is enough. If you need, I have a big home here. If you need to come, if you're in diaspora, you need a place to stay, come to my home. I have a big mansion. You come and stay, check one of the rooms. But that is not enough. We have, Lydia, here in diaspora, we have groups of women. In Minneapolis, Minnesota, we have a group called MWAG. MWAG is a 501c group that is registered in diaspora to support women who are abused, domestic violence women. So we have a group called KQ here, Kenyan Queens, Kisii Queens and Kenyan Queen, we combined. We can support you so that you don't have to be in an abusive relationship. So we are starting small, but we have groups in place that support women. The question is, for me, I am addressing the women who are watching us today. If you are one of those women who is going through this kind of abuse, who is being beaten, who is being, threatened. A threat is like an abuse because it is waiting to happen. What are you doing? Because us, as celebrities, we can only talk about it. But you, who is watching today, it is your responsibility to rescue yourself. Look for help. Help is here. We are here to discuss this so that we give you help. But you have to be the only person who has to rescue yourself.
Yeah. He has to come from you. So we have Benjamin, who is in Japan, and we have myself and Helen, we're in London. We have Lynette, who is in Kenya, and we have Dr. Pam, who is in America. So if you're living in any of these countries and you're in abuse, please, 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 you can DM any of us. And also, it doesn't matter that if Pam is in America, she cannot help somebody living in Germany or somebody living in Kenya. We can still connect with each other and try and find you help. But it's not about if Dr. Pam has a house or I have a house or Helen has a, it's about you. You, first of all, must want it, because what happens is they take you out of that relationship and you go back. They take you out and you go back. So you must make that decision yourself. Am I worth it? How do I love myself? It has to come from you. I cannot come to your house and take you out from your husband or your wife. And the thing is, I know somebody's saying that, yeah, men too get beaten. Yes, it's true, men too. Because there's a video I saw and I was so disturbed with that video. A woman, she was holding her husband like this, beating her husband, even spitting on the man, and she was speaking her language. He was in Kenya. And this little boy was just looking and said, Mommy, 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 and Mommy's busy beating this man. And the man is just there. Do you understand? It was like, what kind of life is this? So that boy, the boy will grow up. Either three things can happen. One, he might be just a normal person who never beat his wife, because it's a choice as well. He can choose not to do what the mom did. Or he can get a woman and be beating the woman because the mom was beating the husband, the dad. Or he can get a woman who is beating him too, and he will stay because the dad stayed. So there's three things that can happen. But at the end of the day, it's about choices. How much do you value yourself? Benjamin, Lynette, Helen, myself, or Dr. Pam cannot come to your house and take you out of that relationship. Cannot come and take you from your husband who is beating you or from your wife who is abusing you. You must make that decision yourself. And if you need help, there is help. There's so many, even Helen here in the UK, she has her own organization that helps women. It's called Women Make Change. So she's there. And because it's called Women Make Change, that doesn't mean that she cannot help a man. If there's a man who needs help, please ask for help. There's so many help organizations out there that can help you. There is. So please don't shy away. Cry for help. Speak out. Speak out. Speak out. It's about speaking out. This abuse is about speaking out. If Helen did not speak out, she wouldn't have gotten the help that she really, really wanted or she needed. If Lynette didn't speak out, she wouldn't have got the help. You know, so we need to speak out. Personally, it's just because people see me, and anytime I tell people that I was in a very abusive relationship, and they're like, you Lydia, the way you're strong, you stop lying. It's not, just like Benjamin says, sometimes Facebook and people are smiling and every day. That doesn't mean, it means that, like, even Helen, she's always smiling. If she tells you like, oh, come on, you're lying. People go through things. Dr. Pam, I know Dr. Pam, we've been friends for long, and last year she went through her own issues and she was always smiling. She's still on Facebook talking to people who are struggling, and yes, she was going through the same thing. So don't look at someone and think, oh, you can't go through this, you're very strong. No, we all have parts that sometimes we're weak and sometimes we're strong, and that is why it's good to help each other, because you can take my weakness, I take your strength, and we combine it and we work together. That is why we always work together. Personally, there's a time, and I also told my kids, they know this, when my ex just pushed me on the road, and an ambulance was coming, and he just said, Lydia, Kufa, Kufa. So, and then that happened on a Saturday, pushed me, say Kufa. I was crying. Everybody was holding me, saying, don't drive, don't drive. But I still got in the car and I drove. But I still had my senses because I was thinking, there's no way I'm going to die, leave my children. So but I was crying the whole way, go home. This man still came to the house on Monday, and I opened the door, and I opened 2 doors. So you know the second door, which one the second door is. I still opened the front door and the other door. And this guy tried to kill me. He pushed me and said, Lydia, Kufa. So what if I died? Who will be opening the door for him? All those 2 doors. So we all have stories. We've all gone through stories, but that is one thing that I can't forget because that one was so dramatic.
We all.
Yep.
Let Benjamin speak because
I want to say something here.
Yes, I can see. Mute and mute all the time.
I want to chime in. Yeah, men get abused, but it's a fact that I want my fellow men to understand. It is true. The majority of the people who go through a lot of pain and very extreme forms of abuse are obviously women. That is a fact. It's a very painful fact. And abusive men do not accept that fact. They keep on saying that men get abused. And then when you ask them, has your woman or has any woman ever abused you? Such men keep quiet. They have no story to say. No woman has ever abused me. But for me, in my experience, briefly, I would say, yes, I've met a woman who kind of began the forms of abuse, like controlling me and what I was doing on social media. And we had an agreement that I am a very vocal person who is always in social media.
Public
and and then I told her my posts and my videos talk about relationships a lot, because I believe if your relationship is messed up, then your life will be messed up. There is no way, whether you're a billionaire, a celebrity, a nobody, if your relationship, and I mean your personal relationship, you yourself, or the people that are important to you, if you're married, if you have a child, if you have siblings, or if you have a parent, if those relationships are not okay, your life will always be so difficult to go by. But this lady, when I met her, I told her, yes, I'm very passionate about social media. I want to express and share some of the things I believe can help somebody to get empowered and have self-esteem. And then all of a sudden, after dating for almost 2 months, she became uncomfortable by my posts and the ladies who were commenting there, and she began questioning me, who is so and so? Do you know her? And she went ahead texting one by one each lady, like, how do you know Benjamin? Why are you texting? Because the lady was from another country, and we were not coming from the same country, and she was not a social media person. And then it reached a point. First, I thought it was a joke. I thought that maybe she's genuine. She means well to me. She wants to have me being honest with the women who are commenting on my posts or my picture. So I take it lightly. Then after a few months, like 2 to 3 months, she demanded for my password, Facebook password. And then so I asked her, why do you need my password? She said, no, I want to see what happens in your inbox. And just to know. Then I told her, okay, well, is it okay for you to also give me your password? And she said, no. Then I asked her why. She said, but I am not on social media. I'm not active as you. So I trust my inbox, and I trust what I do on social media more than what you're doing on social media. At first, I refused. I totally refused. And then one night when we were together, she sat me down tactically and told me, Benjamin, you have to give me the password today, whether you like it or not. And then I sat there looking at her face to face. Then I knew she's serious. Then I said, okay, well, now this is serious. I'm in a foreign country and this lady is talking to me like this, and what should I do? Then I began getting scared. For the first time, I began getting scared. And then I remember I went to the toilet. Then I was beginning to edit, like, like to make sure that my Facebook inbox is perfectly okay, it's fine, so that when I give her the password, I am on the safe side. And by the time I was doing that, When I came back to the room, the living room, I found her with a knife. She had a kitchen knife. I've talked about it in my podcasts. When I saw the knife, and I want to the viewers to understand, to see, when you see a human being next to you with a knife next to him or her, what would you do? If you saw somebody next to you has a knife and you know that this person can do something to you, what would you do as a man? That's a question I want to ask the fellow men who are watching here. Yes, men get abused. So for me, what helped me on that night that I will never forget, I went down on my knees. I knelt down and I began apologizing because I was like, if I overreact, if I act like I'm a man, like I'm strong, a man should fight back, you should defend yourself. She could have stabbed me. Maybe she could have killed me. She could have hurt me badly. I knelt down, I started crying, and all these things I was doing to make her understand that what she's doing to me is wrong. It's not necessary. It's not okay. And when she could see the genuineness of me, maybe my tears made her to stop doing what she was planning to do. And the moment I stood up, it was almost 2 a.m. at night. The moment I stood up, I pretended like I saw she had calmed down. I was pretending I'm going to the toilet. I opened the door and went outside and I ran outside. I went away from that apartment. And it was in my apartment. So I went, I stayed outside in the middle of the night. I had my phone, so we were texting each other. And I was telling her, hey, why are you doing this to me? And she's asking me, why are you doing this to me? So I'm asking her, why are you carrying a knife? You want to kill me? Why? So we kept on exchanging the messages until 4 a.m. in the morning. And then finally she told me, I have left your house, but I will come back later on during the weekend. We talk about this. And I went back to my apartment around 5 a.m. in the morning. I was not so sure if she had left or she was still there. Luckily, she had left. And then we started talking about how to solve this dilemma of passwords. We were talking through the video calls because I told her, please do not come in my house again. Don't come here. I am scared, but we can still remain as friends. But let's solve this situation. And then she began opening up. She told me her mother was abused. Her mother actually died through was shot dead by a gang of criminals. And then I realized that this lady was coming through pain and so many things had happened in her life that she couldn't trust that meeting a man and having a stable discussion to solve these issues, like with the passwords, was more important than resorting to violence. And when she opened up her story, like what the billionaire queen was saying, when people open up and share this story, especially with their new partners, it helps you to understand what to expect. If I play around, this person can actually kill me. But I said, and I told her, moving forward, no more relationship. The relationship has come to an end and we cannot go on. My life is at risk. I wish you all the best. And if you do this or if you threaten me, then I have to report you to the police. And she respected my decision. And that's why I believe that, yes, there are men who get abused, but raising up and speaking for yourself is what is needed. As you said, if you don't speak, if you don't raise your voice, then you remain alone. Then you give the person power to do anything to you. If I didn't speak, if I didn't tell her that the relationship has to come to an end, the way I normally tell people, if you really, really, really love yourself, it's very easy to walk away from an abusive person. It's very easy. The moment you love yourself, but abusers reduce our self-esteem. They make you to become useless. You have heard those two stories of Helen and Lydia. They make you to become hopeless in life. And bringing that self-esteem back, it can take the rest of your life. But if you have it and it's still strong, it's very easy to say, hey, you don't do that to me. You don't carry a knife on me and walk away and think that we can continue living like this. But I walked away from there. Now I'm alive. I can share this story to fellow men and the ladies who are watching. It's very important to know that your life is at risk and end the affair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Pam, you wanted to say something as well about your, yeah.
I don't know if I want to because my story is long, but I'm just gonna make it very, very short. But first of all, Benjamin, thank you. Thank you for speaking out for men especially, because I have seen men who are abused and good men who are abused, but they don't know how to get out of the abusive relationship. It is not okay for a woman to be abused. It is not okay for a man to be abused. And there's something that I think it's Lynette who said that we can have a rich, poor, educated, not educated, skinny, fat, any kind of shape, be abused. So abuse does not, it has no class, it has no status, it has nothing to do with anything. So that's one thing I wanted to share, that even you see us here as educated, as beautiful celebrities, we also have had our own share of abuse in different way. As Lydia was saying that I also was going through it, I shared with Lydia, I shared with a few people, my family. I thank God for my family that was here. My mine had actually, my abuse, I can say it started earlier on, as most of you have said. I remember the first time that I had my young boy, my first boy, and I knew actually when I was dating my ex-husband is educated, is an MD medical doctor in USA, is somebody who is known in the community. Everybody knows him. I knew he had anger issues. And when I came to USA, because I came first, I wanted to forget about him. But he followed me to USA. The first time when we were living in an apartment, I was going to send money to my mom. My mom then was in Africa, and he started being bitter. And he took a cup with hot tea. I was sitting, I had a little boy. He threw it to me with hot tea. It didn't hit me, but it hit the wall. That was a shocker to me. I was like, what? Did he do that? Then I said, he apologized and said, okay, this won't happen. And then I like gardening. For those of you who know, I like gardening. I used to go to the garden. One time I came late from the garden and he threatened me. And he was moving so close to me. I said, please don't hurt me. He stopped. Come 2004, it was a small, I was in school, and it started just like a small argument. My mom had come from Africa. My mom was here, the mother was here, but it was in a different state. And for me, we argued about an aunt who was helping us. By then I didn't have money, I was in school, and they wanted me to pay more to this auntie. I said, I can't afford to pay this auntie more. So we just paid for a ticket. And that was a reason to fight me. He slapped me. You know, I'm a tall woman, and I'm going to be very honest. He slapped me, and that shocked me. And then he started, boom, boom. He's shorter than me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to defend myself. He was throwing a punch on me. I threw a punch on him too. So it was a fight. My mom was in the building. He started choking me. And actually, it moved my vocal cord to the side. He started choking me. And that was, like he was still practicing. Now he's practicing MD. Me, I was just, I had not even had my first degree actually. So I ran outside and went to my Nigerian friend. Her name is Hope. I went to Hope. I had marks, bruises here, and I was still new in USA. So I stayed there. I stayed throughout the night. He started calling me. I didn't answer. The following day, he called me. I didn't answer. Eventually, I answered. And then I had to come home. I had a young baby. I had to come home. And I remember very well, we went to the car. We went to the church. And they asked me forgiveness in the church. I was crying. He was crying. Both of us were crying. He was crying, and I was crying. And I forgave him, guys. I forgave him. And we continued. But I gave him one promise. I said, anytime you touch me, I will call the police on you. And from there, he never touched me. And our relationship was okay for a while, But the last 8 years, after I got my last daughter, again, the abusive relationship, I don't know what triggered, it started emotional abuse. And when I tell you emotional abuse is worse than even somebody smacking you, it is true. Guys, 8 years, we went through vacations. You know, he had money. We'll go through, we went to Italy, we went to France, we went through all these places. And, you know, I was also doing Facebook Live, guys. And let me tell you, Facebook Live helped me. That is why I come to Facebook Live, because I would forget my problems and come and help other people. But I was hurting. What triggered me to eventually file for divorce is that it started slowly and it was building up. One time I remember he told me that I see you as I've already buried you 6 feet under. He told me that. And then I told my mom is here already. My mom used to stay with us in the house. He kicked my mom out of the house. And my mom was helping me because I was in school. I had to get a apartment for my mom. So my mom had to stay in an apartment. My mom, she's very old. She had to stay in an apartment I rented for her so that she could help me with the kids because I was in school. And for me, I think what triggered is school, because he didn't want me to call a doctor, because now I'd finished my master's. I was doing my doctorate. That thing triggered him. He didn't want me to be called a doctor because he had to be the only man. So anyway, to cut the story short, because I know people are there. When I filed for divorce, that is when hell broke loose. He was being crazy. And I remember the last night, guys, when he was chasing me, he was running behind me. And this man, I didn't even know. He had purchased guns. He had guns, guys. Previously, he had a gun, and he had, in America, what happened? In America, you have a right to own guns. So I couldn't say no. It was in a safe and he had that safe in my bedroom. But I didn't know until the police came here. I didn't know he had purchased more guns, and he had more guns in the house. I didn't know that. With ammunition too, guys. So the night, I think what really for me, I think what saved me is the fact that we kept praying. I believe in the power of prayer. Me and my kids, most of you know me, I take my kids to church. Even when he was going crazy, God gave me that strength to still be with my kids and go to church. Until the night, I think it was 2018 when he chased me. And my older son then, I think he was 16 or 17. He followed me when I was running. He had the commotion and he was running. And that is the time my son wrote me a text message. I will never forget that text message. My son said, "Mom, run, he's behind." And then I couldn't, because I called the police. The police were coming and I was running, I was hiding. And we live in a big, nice gated community. And I was running. And then my son kept calling me because I was with the police. My son said, "Mom, did he kill you? Did he kill you, Mom?" That got me. But what I would say is that the police came, and by the time the police came, he had run away. So the police came in the house and they checked and everything, and they did a search warranty, and they realized he had just recently purchased more gun and more ammunition. So they told us, they took us from the house, they escorted me to my girlfriend's house. We stayed there, and he checked himself in the police. So he stayed in the police. They had to do he had to do what they call, like, he has to put a personal bond on himself so that he would not he had to come out. So the state filed a case against him, and we went back and forth. So my son was to be one of one to testify against him. I thought about it. I thought what it was going to do to my son, and I dropped the case. I dropped the case. I requested him to get help. But since then, it was bad. He would not come to the house. And we moved on. I divorced him, and he moved on with his life. I moved on with my life. But what I would say, because I wanted to make it quick because we've been here for a minute. What I would say is, after that, it's been almost now, since we divorced, since he left, and everything's been over 2 years. What I would say is that I look back, I had to forgive myself, guys. I had to forgive myself for staying this long. I did have to, because I felt I jeopardized my kids' life. I jeopardized my life and my kids' life. I had to learn to forgive myself to have stayed this long. I also wanted to say that when you stay in an abusive relationship, it is not even healthy for your kids. Because what I know is that after I left, my kids are flourished. They can express themselves. They question. We talk about these things. We discuss. We say, my son says, "Mom, why did you stay?" Now we can discuss. My two older sons are old enough. I have a 19-year-old and a 16, almost 17. They are old enough to discuss these things. And I look back, I say, you have to be your own rescue. No matter what, you have to be your own rescue. No matter what, nobody, the whole family, everybody will tell you things, but you have to rescue yourself.
Yeah.
Lydia, I wanted to make my story short because it's long, but
I know.
And the good thing is, Lydia, we discussed, I was going through it, and I will tell you, Lydia, now this is where it is. We discussed, you are aware. Most people were not aware, but you are aware because you are one of my intimate friends, and I hold you high, and you are praying for me, you are supporting me, and I appreciate you for that.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
That's why you're my mentor. Of course, I have to support you. So thank you so much. A lot of people are saying we need to have this every week. It should be a weekly program because just one day is not enough. And somebody said they're watching from India, Germany, Kenya, Bahrain, Lebanon. So people are watching from all over. And yes, domestic violence can be physically, emotionally, sexually, financially. It can be all that. And emotionally actually is the worst, but it can be all that: physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Now, I just want to ask a question to every single one of us. When it comes to domestic violence, who is to blame? I'll start with Lynette.
Okay.
In this thing, who is to blame?
Okay, I wanted to say something before you ask that question, but it's kind of related. So to me, the church has also failed us. Like for me, I would say it made me feel like a prisoner, because when I walked, there's a time when I walked out and he sent the church elders. So I had to go back because we talked about it, and he agreed to change. But when I went back, I felt like a prisoner in terms of submission. He would sleep with me forcefully just because a woman is supposed to be submissive. And again, femicide has happened mostly. Some femicide cases have happened just because the pastors, maybe the pastors or the church elders, didn't tell someone maybe to walk out. You are told that a good woman builds her own house, and a bad woman will destroy
with
her
our own
house with her own hand. Yeah, so from then, sincerely, I never went to church because they never supported me. They never said the truth. It's like they were on his side. Yeah. They
Okay.
never share support system.
So, Lynette, you're there, you're
Yeah.
still there. So, in these two, a husband and a wife now, if there's a domestic violence happening from whichever party, who do you think should be blamed for this? Who has more power in this relationship? Let me put it like that.
To me,
Who
everyone
has
should.
more who has more power to stop this thing from happening?
The husband.
A relationship between a man and a woman.
Yes.
Can I say that? Can I answer that?
Yeah, please.
Let me hear from Lynette first.
Okay.
I'm gonna come from everybody.
Okay. I don't know how to put it, but to me, both party can stop this. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you think the abuser can stop it?
The abuser.
Yeah.
The one who's abusing you.
Mm-hmm.
Some people cannot change, however, how much you try, they cannot.
And how do you think the person being abused can stop this?
The abuse can stop by walking out.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've also have people here commenting about that question. Okay. Thank you, Lynette. We're done with that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go to billionaire queen Helen. Her name is Helen, actually. I love the billionaire queen. I wanted to answer that. So who do you think should be blamed, or who do you think has the more power over the other person?
To be honest, I will say the truth. None of the person being abused and the abuser, both of them, yeah, like for my case, I will say that I couldn't blame myself, and I can't blame myself because there was no access for, for everything. Like, as I said, language barrier, so there was nobody to communicate with. I've been isolated, so I can't blame myself. And for him as well, it's hard to blame him because he feels like he's doing the right thing because he never accepted it till tomorrow. He still feels like he's right, So I always just say that the only people that has failed us is the society, our community where we live.
Yep.
Let's say we come from Africa. We are here in the UK. Let's say I'm in the UK. You live, you don't know your neighbors. You don't know who is who. You don't know who is who. You don't know how people wake up and everything. So now, if you go outside and knock at your neighbor's door and said, oh, sorry, I need help. This is what is going on. You hear everybody's like, the first thing they will think about is the children. Like, I have kids. And in this country, it's like the main thing is kids, social worker. The first thing is your kids. They will take the kids away. So many women as well, they're scared. They don't want their kids to be taken away. So you will hide a lot of things. So, and people judging you and all those sort of stuff. Even friends, when you have friends, they judge you, they do this, they do this. So everybody has failed everybody. Community, the government, the church leaders. That is how I feel. Even the families, like parents and everything. Like African parents, they will say, you have to stay in that relationship. Don't bring, don't bring shame to us. Don't do this, don't do that. So the person abusing need help because they feel they're right. And the person being abused is already dead. That person is dead because they are just walking, as a someone who's living, but they are not themselves. So they cannot blame themselves and they can't help themselves unless somebody wake them up. And who's that person to wake them up? Is the community. That's how I see. Friends and everything. So Lydia, it's a very tough one when you said who is to blame. You can't blame the person abusing because they don't know that they're doing the right thing. In their mind, they feel they're very right. I have to tell you, I've met those kind of people. Even after I separate already, that we divorced and everything, I still fell in love because, as you go along the way, like I was still a young woman and all that. So you still meet other people and things like that. And you meet a different one again. abuse is a different way. Some of them, they will beat you, as some of them, they treat you in a different way. So you can't blame. It's hard.
All right.
They all need help. The man need help. The woman need help.
Thank you.
They need counseling.
Yeah.
They need everything. So that's why they have a lot. Now they have a lot of support outside. So although I break down most of the time, we have a charity, Women Make Change. We help a lot of people, men and women and young girls as well, because we have teenagers that they just come out of school and their boyfriend is doing this and doing that and doing that and doing that. So we give them counseling and all this sort of stuff. I have other people who are stronger than me. I'm strong in front of people, but when I go at the back, maybe in the toilet, then I break down, or in my bedroom or whatever. So yeah, I'm still here to support anyone. You have anything, you can still come and ask me question. You need counseling, I will give you the best counseling that you need in this world. So we are here. Women Make Change. Just check us on Facebook and all that. But who is to blame? Lydia, I blame you. You're my friend. Eh? It's a hard one. Yeah, it's hard.
Okay.
It's hard.
10 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Benjamin, I know Benjamin has another show to go to, so I'll go to Benjamin. Benjamin, what do you think?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Yeah, as I want to pick up from what the billionaire queen has said. When it comes to when I do these topics, is everyone has to take some kind of blame. I would say briefly, there's a percentage of blame. The woman who is staying there at the expense of her life and her children, the man who is abusing the woman who has children with him has to take some blame. The people, the friends, the family. I'm just echoing what billionaire queen has been saying. But I blame the people who know somebody is being abused and they say nothing about it.
Yep.
Those ones I have to really blame them strongly, especially even for, I know there are men who actually hate this topic altogether. They don't get the sense what we are doing here. They don't even know why Benjamin is seated here for more than 1 hour. And these 4 ladies, it's like, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up for a man to do all these things. So such men, unfortunately, some of them are actually abusers. And an abusive person don't want people to talk about abuse because you're talking about him. You're actually talking about what he does, and they hate that with a passion. But my message to any person who feels offended by listening to these stories, by hearing what people are speaking about, if you get offended, something is wrong with you. If you get, the key word here is if you get offended. Benjamin is speaking about this topic. These ladies are sharing their stories, and you get offended, something is really wrong with you. The only person who can be offended is a man who has been abused and he has proof that his wife or his girlfriend or his boyfriend, if he's a gay person, is abusing him, and he has nothing to do. That one we cannot blame him because he needs help. But somebody who gets offended with this kind of discussion, they take the biggest blame. If you're a man and you're watching and you're following this, my message to you as a fellow man-to-man talk is, if you're not an abusive person, your brother could be abusing somebody. If you're not an abusive man, your father may have been abusive. If you're not an abusive person, your best friend, your boss that you smile and discuss with, you always look up to, could be an abusive person. The moment you realize that they're abusive, it is okay to speak about it and against it. Even you as a man who has been abusive, when we are talking this, we're not talking about you. We are just saying that it is not okay. It is not right to beat a fellow human being. It's not okay. I use a very classic example, which I normally say, like the billionaire queen's story of the hot flat iron. If you're a man and your wife times you when you're sleeping and puts a hot iron on your leg, on your thigh, how would you feel? As a human being, how would you feel? Is it right? Is it okay? If that doesn't make sense, if your daughter experiences the same, and then your daughter walks and comes back home with this huge scar on her thigh because the boyfriend or the husband tried to ban her, as the father of the daughter, how would you react? So everyone is taking a blame all over. And if you do not accept that this is something really bad and it shouldn't go on in life, then it will come back to you. It will come back in one way or another to somebody that you care for, you treasure. I'm very passionate about the children you're raising. Some of the men I know, they hate this topic. They hate abuse, but they have daughters. That's the saddest irony. They want their daughters to be the best in this world. But the daughters cannot be the best if you're an abusive person, you abuse the mother, and then you're hoping that from nowhere, a very decent man will love and respect your daughter if you did not change. So my parting shot is this: if you are an abusive person, it's okay to accept that you made mistakes, you are wrong, you hurt a fellow human being. Swallow your pride, swallow your ego, and say, now I've learned, I've become better. And I don't want my son to do this. It's okay to accept that I was doing something that I didn't know was right. I don't want my son to do this. Honestly, I don't want my own son to do what I did to the mother. But at the end of the day, each and all of us take some kind of blames. And the percentages will not be the same. I don't want to say that, well, let's blame the woman for staying. Let's blame the man for abusing. No, all of us, the society, the community, people who know these stories, they don't want to speak about it. They don't want to participate. So all of us, we have some kind of blame, but blame is a very negative word. I don't like it. Let's say who takes the responsibility in solving this dilemma for people. Who should take the responsibility? The word blame is sometimes really, really negative. And when you say, who do you blame? Like the billionaire queen was trying to avoid the question. It's like, it's very painful when you ask somebody who has been abused, who do you blame? You are already making the person to begin feeling like, okay, maybe I made a mistake to stay there. But blame is blame. We have to blame somebody at the end of the day. Yes. Thank you so much. And on that note, I would like to leave and prepare for my show.
Yes,
Thank you for giving me the platform, and the viewers who are watching, they can follow me. My name is Benjamin Junior Bagonko. Yeah. Thank you, all of you, the ladies who have shared your stories.
Yeah. Before you go, I actually have somebody who said, your program is starting in 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know they're waiting for me.
Reminding you to hurry up and go. So thank you so much, Benjamin. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll excuse you because I want Dr. Pam to answer that question as well. So thank you very much, Benjamin. We'll talk again and we'll do more shows. This is not finished. We have to have another session.
Thank you. And thank you for the participants and the viewers. All of you have watched this program. I really wish you a nice week, and love yourself. Walk away from abusive relationship. That is the best thing you can do for yourself and for your children. Thank you so much. Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Yeah, he had to go. He had told me already that he has something else as well. So, Dr. Pamela.
I want to echo because I also have a meeting coming soon. I don't also want to be late. I also want to echo what Benjamin has said. We want to say who is taking responsibility of what is happening in the community. As all the ladies and Benjamin have said, all of us, the community, the church, us as people who have been victim, the abusers, everybody needs to take responsibility. But more so, as my sister Lynette said, the church also needs to step up and support instead of forcing people to go back to dead relationships. The community needs the church, the community. Also, the abusers, especially the men who are abusers, they need help. I say that, and I will still say that. If you come from an abusive relationship, if you have issue with anger, there are places where you can go for anger management. When the anger is starting to build up, you can walk out, take a walk, you know, go somewhere, relax, go to the gym, exercise, do something so that that anger that is building can go away. So the men who are abusers, the women who are abusers, you have to also recognize that you are abusive and get help.
Yes.
For the women who are abused also, you have to recognize you are being abused and get help. And as I said earlier, you are your own rescue. You have to rescue yourself.
Yeah.
The community, those friends, Lydia, they need to step up. Most of the people, let me tell you, they stay in an abusive relationship because when you share with your friends, there's a stigma about single women.
Yeah.
People feel like single women are second-class citizens. They are not. Single women, they are women who are strong enough to come up and stand for what is right.
Mm-hmm.
So they are not sissies. We stood up for what is right because we said no more abuse. So
Enough
the
is
community should not antagonize and put women to shame, blame women who have moved from abusive relationship. And when somebody shares their personal stories with you, please protect them.
Yeah.
As Benjamin said, I'm going to finish. Most men who cannot stand to listen to this, most of them are abusers. I remember there's a man from Minneapolis, Minnesota. When I did a topic about abuse a few months or a few years ago, he was so quick. He had to do a show about this. He was crazy, but he was actually abusing the wife. He had to talk about me and do a whole show about me, how I am taking women from their husbands. But the wife was being abused. Actually, the wife, through our show, my show, and other people's show, the wife was able to get help. So people who cannot stand a show like this, they are actually abusers.
Yeah. Okay. So because a lot of people are saying this thing, we still need a lot of people. This is a topic, like one day, remember Dr. Pam, we were doing something and I said, this is a topic we cannot finish within one day. So I think we'll give it maybe three more weeks and then do it again next month. Even if we can do it once a month, we will do it once a month until, even if it's 10% of people get help. That is, the Bible says, forget the 99 and help only the one. So even if we can only help the one, we've done something. So I want to say thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Lynette. I think she's frozen. Thank you, Lynette. Thank you, Dr. Pamela. Thank you, billionaire queen Helen Atim. And I also thank myself. And I'll see you again in a month's time because we still have a lot to talk about. Because now what we're going to concentrate more next time is the abusers. Because the abusers as well, they need help, okay? They're humans as well, and they need help. So now next time we're going to talk about abusers more than, because we've said our story today. So next time is just a continuation. So thank you very much, everybody. Lynette, do you have anything last to tell the viewers before we go?
Okay. I'm just telling the viewers, I know so many people are going through a lot. There are so many people who can't tell their stories, and yet they are going through a lot. It's high time you walk out before you're dead. It's high time people are told, if you don't walk out, if you don't run for your life, you'll die. Femicide takes place every day. Women are being killed on daily basis. You can run away, run for your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for those who have come out, and those who have been through this, they can also empower others and just tell them the pros and cons of staying in abusive relationships. We should empower other women. We should teach them on how they can do incoming generating activity, of which we are doing that in our organization, just to make sure that women get something, so that when they want to get out of toxic relationships, at least they can start from somewhere. Yeah,
because
Thank
so
you.
many people are staying in abusive relationships because they don't know how to start. They fear being judged. They fear how to start it all over again. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lynette. You've heard from Lynette, run or die. Simple as that. Okay,
Yeah, you'd better
thank you
go
very
back to your
much.
you'd
Thank
better go back to your parents alive than in a coffin.
Yes, that's it. So run or die. Thank you, Lynette. Okay, Helen, is there a last word you can
Yes.
tell our viewers?
Okay, the only thing I can tell everybody, okay, especially our viewers for tonight, because I've seen some people asking questions as well, like if there's any counseling after that and things like that. So I know many people might be affected because of our stories and things like that, but it's a true life story, it's what we went through, and it's good that we are sharing it out. So don't hesitate for help. And secondly, if you are going through domestic violence and abuse, because we're in 2020 now, things keep changing every year. You know, my one was 2005, 6, 7, 8. That's what I'll talk about. But now it's 2020. If anything like that is happening, don't feel ashamed. Find help. If you can't talk to families and friends, because I know people are really scared speaking to their friends or speaking to their families. And I know some friends as well, like it happened to me before. You go to their house because you need help, but later they will throw it back to you. Oh, yeah, you were in my house or this and that and that. So many people don't go to friends, and you can still find help anywhere. As I said, like us, we are here. That's why we are talking about this. You can contact us through Women Make Change, Lydia, and everybody that you see here tonight. You can reach out to them. Sometimes you can Google and find out to find help, like to get help. There's a lot of numbers online nowadays. So if you can, people who are on Facebook, you can even try to Google on Facebook and things like that. You will find a lot of charities that they deal with domestic violence all over the world. It's not only UK or America or whatever. It's everywhere now. So you don't need to even speak to your family or friend. If you're scared, they will go back and tell you maybe you're abuser. Just go online and Google and you will find help. Speak out. The first step is to speak out to someone, because if you keep it to yourself and that is it, you can't come out of it. You will stay there and you'll be, going through that abuse forever until maybe you die. So speak out, please. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. From Helen, you heard from Helen, speak out and find help. Okay, so from Lynette, run or die, simple. From Helen, speak out and find help, simple. So Dr. Pam, do you have anything to tell our viewers before we finish?
Yes, first of all, Lydia, I want to thank you so much for bringing us. This is amazing. I appreciate Lynette, Helen, Benjamin for sharing the platform with you. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your stories, all of you. Thank you, viewers, for watching us and for coming to Facebook Live. You can also follow all of us. I am on social media, Dr. Pam Obare Mogaka. You can follow me on social media. You can also follow me on YouTube. I have a wonderful YouTube channel. I talk about everything, depression, UTI, I talk about everything, motivation, meditation. Follow me. My last word is this: there is help. There is hope. There is help. You are beautiful. You don't put yourself down. Don't lower your self-esteem because somebody tells you. Somebody's opinion about you should not be your reality. Somebody's opinion about you should not be your reality. You are beautiful, you're handsome. There is more than abuse. There is life out here more than abuse. There is help. We have groups that will support you. You can contact us. We are here for you. We are your celebrities. We are here to serve you. We are your influencers. We are here to serve you. Inbox us if you need any help. Thank you, and I love you. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Pam. So from Dr. Pam, you've heard, and her word is, someone's opinion should not be your reality. So someone's opinion should not be your reality. From Dr. Pam, from Lynette, run or die. From Helen, stand out, find help. And from myself, take your power back. That power belongs to you. So take your power back. And thank you very much, everybody. A lot of people here are saying next time they want to be part of the panel, they want to be here, they want to talk. But we are all welcome to talk on Facebook. You're welcome back. These are the panelists, so they're here to tell us more and more. But thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Helen, so much. Thank you, Dr. Pam. Thank you, Lynette. Thank you, Benjamin, even he's gone. And thank you so much for the viewers. And also thank you, Lady D, for staying and listening and watching the whole time. Thank you so much, my ladies. We'll do this again next month.
We love you. Thank
Love
you.
you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
At World Remit, we understand what the journey is about, how it can sometimes take a little distance to bring us a little closer together. With ways to save more when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.